Morning, everybody. John Panic with the Mojave Valley Daily News. This is your daily dose for Wednesday, April 14th, Hump Day. Happy Hump Day, Jeff.
Hump Day.
The Daily Dose is brought to you by the Tri-State Radiology Center in Fort Mojave, Arizona. At the Tri-State Radiology Center, your images will be read and available within 24 hours. No need to wait several days to get your images to your doctor. Call today for an appointment at 928-460-7226. And remember, at the Tri-State Radiology Center, your image means the world to us. All right, we got a pile of things to get to, so let's roll. Move all this stuff over here. All right. See up here in the top. Join us today on Facebook for a Q&A with Larry Springer of Mayhem, the main event at 4 p.m. So check us out. We're going to have Larry in here. We're going to ask him a pile of questions about the big event coming up this next week. And so get your questions ready for him. Good morning, Mandy. Good morning, Brenda. Get your questions ready for him, and we will address them with him. All right, top story, Johnson & Johnson vaccinations paused. We have the Johnson & Johnson vaccines here in our community. Remember, we started with a bunch of the Moderna, and most people were getting that. Then we started getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccines. That's been paused nationwide now. 6 cases of severe blood clots have popped up out of the almost 7 million vaccines. So they put a pause on it yesterday. The U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention and the FDA paused it to take a look at what's going on, if these are related or not. It's 6 cases out of 6 million. It's only affected women, and I think the ages were like 18 to 48 or 45, somewhere in there. But they're not 100% convinced that these vaccines are the cause of those blood clots. So they're going to do some more investigation. They figure the pause will only last a few days, and then they'll move forward on that as well. One of the people quoted in the story, I think he's from the CDC perhaps, said that if you look at it, it's literally one in a million, but you have a 1 in 500,000 chance of getting hit by lightning. So you have twice the chance of getting hit by lightning than getting a blood clot from the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. All right, in our breaking news, today's breaking news is brought to you by New Image Primary Care, now scheduling appointments within 7 days. Call them for an appointment. Good morning, Sandy. We have a wreck on Highway 95. This is a work truck that was, according to the information gathered at the scene, was traveling northbound on Highway 95. Apparently had a red light at 95 in Riverview. A taxi went across Riverview, and the truck hit the taxi and ended up on its top there. What is it? Tanya Tamayo provided us with this picture.
I almost think the taxi hit the truck to get it upside down.
Oh, it said that
I don't know. Just from the looks of it, the front end of the cab is wrecked. The side of the truck's wrecked. It looks like it side hit it. Maybe? I don't know.
It says the work truck was traveling north on Highway 95 and struck a westbound taxi. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
It hit the taxi. It spun the taxi around, and the truck flipped over, coming to rest upside down. The driver of the truck was taken to the hospital. We don't have any update on his condition or the extent of his injuries. The driver of the taxi refused treatment at the scene, so hopefully everybody is okay there. It's a pretty interesting picture, though, for sure.
Big mess, yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Crampton says she's struggling with quandary. This is the crushed board member, Lori Crampton, who you remember last month was upset that she got replaced on one of the committees, and so she stormed out of the regularly scheduled board meeting, saying that she was quitting. She failed to show up at her board meeting yesterday when she was reached for comment by Bill McMillan. She said that she hadn't decided to quit yet, and she hadn't decided to stay. So we got a few quotes in there about her, as an elected member.
Should I stay or should I go?
Yes. She says that she doesn't want to be part of the drama. I would say that storming out of a meeting probably is the definition of drama. But, there's a lot of issues going on over there at the school board that they're trying to get straightened out. She's the last holdover of one of the previous boards, and she's been with the board this is her third 4-year term. So she is, good morning, Rita, good morning, David, and good morning, Maria, my darling wife. She's the last holdover. Her term is supposed to end, I think it was the end of next year. Dr. Cardone, the board president, is quoted in there saying that as far as he's concerned, she's still a member of the board. So until she decides what she's going to do, the way this works is if she misses 3 board meetings, she is removed. 3 consecutive board meetings. So she's got some time yet to make up her mind on what her plans are. And then at the bottom of the story here, Bullhead City Police Department implements body-worn camera program. Jeff, you got a picture of the cameras?
Yeah, we have that up right now.
All right. So this is good news. This is something that I know Brian Williamson, Chief Williamson, was working on hard. It's come up in front of City Council a few times. Very expensive. But they finally approved it late last year, in December of last year, a contract with Axon Enterprises for 60 body-worn cameras, including storage, equipment, which the way I understand it was the biggest part of it was the storage part. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Cindy. Was the storage part for keeping all of the video information on here. And getting them saved to a cloud storage and all that. So 60 cameras out of the 71 officers. Some of the officers that will not be wearing them are ones that are inside the department. Administrators who work primarily in office settings would not be given them, nor would narcotics officers because of the nature of their secretive work. So good news that it all should be happening by the end of this month. By April, everyone should be worn. I think that was, who did they say that was? Corporal Eddie Espinoza. They're modeling the cameras and what they look like. So
nice cameras.
they are nice cameras. That's going to be. They also had to hire another person. That was part of the money as well. They approved
Probably an
additional. Well, it's an additional records clerk. So
Okay.
I think they consider those digital files
Yeah.
as part of their records. Okay, moving on. We got a nice big story in here from our editor-in-chief, Mike Boyd. And you really need to take time to read this. If you don't get the paper, please go on our site and read it. It's a great story, and he talks significantly about the obstacles that he has had. We had somebody call in and say that he was trying to get their vaccine. He was didn't have an appointment, so him and about 25 others were on standby. This was a few weeks ago, March 31st at the Anderson Fieldhouse. There was a clinic there handing out the J&J vaccines, and these people were told suddenly that while they had waited there for hours to try and get their vaccine, remember they didn't have an appointment, people inside came out and said, all right, we don't have any more vaccines, you can go home. Other people came out and said, yeah, there's vaccines. And our editor has been working with the spokesman, Roger Galloway, up at Mojave County, as well as some of the other people up there to try and get some information on if that was really true that there were vaccines available, but these people were turned away because it was getting too late in the day for them. So it's a good story. Please check it out. Good morning, Ronnie. And then we have Lake Havasu police pursuing murder suspect. This is one of our bad guys, right, Jeff?
Yes, another bad guy.
Okay, Brian Robinson. The Lake Havasu Police Department is actively pursuing a murder suspect after arresting 2 other people in connection with the death earlier this month. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of Brian William Robinson, 36. He's wanted on suspicion of first-degree murder for the April 4th death of Stacy Hakes down there in Lake Havasu. He's 6'4", brown hair, green eyes. He has kind of a distinguishing feature. His right arm is amputated. So he also has a giant tattoo across the stomach that is BERDOO. Not really sure what that is supposed to mean, but that's him right there. He's a tall guy. They believe right now that he is down in Tucson. So if you see him in your area, please notify the Lake Havasu police. Really quick, in the letter to the editor, there's a letter in here from somebody who identifies herself as the person. You know that statue that they have down at Valencia and Highway 95? They always dress it up. They always dress it up with like
a scarecrow
Halloween
or what? Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
We never knew who that person was that was taking care of that. She identifies herself in a letter to the editor.
Wow,
But
finally.
she's the person, yes. So you have been...
Thank you.
Yes.
We've been wondering about you for many, many years.
We have. Let's go over to sports.
Gotcha.
All right, so in sports is brought to you by Mike Lewick at Desert Time Realty. Call Mike today for the service you deserve and the people you trust when buying or selling your home. First, we have the Lady T-Birds fall at Flagstaff. The Lady T-Birds sand volleyball team has been playing really, really well, but they ran up against a tough one out in Flagstaff. This is senior Ashley Salzer on the left and Hannah Burgess on the right, and that's their coach, Coach Radich in the back. They were swept in 5 sets at Flagstaff. They played really well, according to the coach, but they just ran up against a team that is really, really good. So their next match will be Monday at home against Trivium Prep, next Monday. And then we have the River Valley girls sand volleyball team. They lost to Yonker. What we have, the picture there is Aubrey Shad and Aliyah, Bershia. Aliyah Bershia.
Sounds good.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
That's Aliyah on the right. They won their match, but River Valley lost to Yonker 3-2 in the end. Fiona Wheatcroft and Savannah Hazelwood also won their match. So that is that. All right. Let's go over to, don't go too far with that because I got the weather in there and today in history and that. And let's go over to, watermelon. Seedless watermelon.
Oh, boy.
See that?
You guys knew we couldn't get by the food section.
Seedless and boneless, whatever it is, I'm in. I don't like to have to work.
He'll be at Smith's as soon as the show's over.
Yeah, go get me some of that. We also have our best of ballot in here. Please pull it out, fill
Get
it
out
out,
and vote.
and submit it. Yes.
Vote. Everybody vote.
What do we got here?
Got a
Best
lot.
home builder, best Asian food, best gaming promotion. There's a lot of good stuff in there, so do that.
Everything's in there. Make sure you guys get in there and vote.
All right, in the Laughlin Times. Low Lake Mead levels may bring changes. This is a pretty lengthy story here about some of the issues that the Lake Mead is undergoing. If you see on that picture there, you can kind of see, I forget what they called it yesterday, but you can see the different levels of water and where they've been at over the year. That picture right in the middle there, that island right in the middle, you see the little gray spot up on top. Same thing with the one off to the right. You can see the water levels where they were at. Did everyone get their breakfast burritos this morning? No. However, David, we have a special surprise for you guys next week, right?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. We have a surprise for you guys.
So get ready.
So be prepared. All right, so on the Lake Mead thing, what the story basically is the Lake Mead National Recreation Area is advising visitors to be extra cautious because water levels have been fluctuating so much. They're down quite a bit, so they're going to be making some changes to launch ramps at Boulder Harbor, Hemingway Harbor, Temple Bar, a few other places. So they just want you to be careful when they do their launches because of the problems that they're having out there. Las Vegas Metro PD names new commander for Laughlin. That is Lieutenant Grant Rogers. will be taken over as of May 1st, replacing Lieutenant Jeff Hughes, who is going back to Las Vegas to work at the Training Bureau. So welcome, Lieutenant Rogers. It says his first big focus will be on the upcoming Mayhem, the main event, on April 21st through the 25th, even though he doesn't take over May 1st. So we got a few other stories in here. Golden to offer COVID-19 vaccines to team members. Golden Entertainment, which owns a pile of casinos, including the Aquarius and the Edgewater here in town, and the Bell, rest in peace. They have about 6,000 team members in Nevada between all of their different locations, including the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino, Arizona Charlie's. They are going to be offering vaccines to their team members. They're also going to be incentivizing them to get the vaccine with little gifts and coupons and that kind of stuff. And then Kane has a neat little story in here about Clark County School District, why students are not coming back to school. One of the schools that he was talking about had 2,800 students, only 480 decided to return. The rest of them have decided to stay in remote learning. Part of the, yes, Sandy, rest in peace. Good morning, Lynn. Part of the reasoning that they quote in here is that these older students, the juniors and seniors, some of them have gone out and gotten jobs, and now they have to choose between quitting their job and coming back to school for the final 6 weeks, or continue with their remote learning. So they have chosen the remote learning. Wednesday is also our day for the entertainer. Typically we have a couple of big stories in here, but the entertainer's packed this week. So I'm going to try and get through this fairly quick. You see the top story there, Bullhead Striper Tournament. You have to be very careful when you're doing headlines in the newspaper. I know that we've had this happen before where if you put an extra P in there, you know what that is, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm well aware of that.
Yes, that would be the Bullhead Stripper Tournament, which they are not having. It is a striper tournament.
Not even during Bike Week?
Not even during Bike Week.
Okay.
No tournaments. And then we also have a story in here on the Copper Still Distillery in Lake Havasu. It's called Shine On. I had heard that there was one down there, and it sounded awesome. And then I have a friend that lives down in Havasu. Good morning, Patty, if you're out there, who was telling us about this and how good it is. So you hear moonshine and you think brewed out in the middle of nowhere and really rough to drink and kind of sketchy, could have all kinds of stuff in it. This is not that kind of moonshine. It's handcrafted. He's spent a lot of time. That's Andy and Carrie Anderson. So Andy, I guess, has spent quite a bit of time. He said that he started brewing his own beer at 16. I'm not sure that's legal.
No, it's not.
So I'm sure that was a misprint. I think we meant 21.
That's right.
So he started brewing beer when he was 16, and then he moved over to whiskey, and it's really a neat story. He's got different flavors. He's got a peanut butter whiskey, a root beer whiskey. He also said that if you notice, he spells whiskey without the E at the end. It's just Y instead of EY, and the reason is to be an official whiskey, it has to be naturally fermented. You can't add sugar. You're using the sugar from the corn itself. With him, he adds sugar, he adds flavors in it, so it's better. He says you can't go wrong with a cocktail that tastes is.
That's not a word yet.
No, but it's my fault because I was reading ahead and saw Reese's and it messed me up. You can't go wrong with a cocktail that tastes like a Reese's peanut butter cup or a root beer float.
There we go.
A couple of new ones he's got are lemonade and chocolate whiskey. So
chocolate sounds good.
He's also moved into rum. He's got cigars. He's got He recently won some awards. He went into the 2020 Finger Lakes International Wine and Spirits Competition, and his jalapeno vodka took gold, Havasu vodka took silver, and his peanut butter whiskey took silver. So
Got a cucumber vodka too.
yeah, cucumber. I don't know that
I don't think that would taste too good. I don't know.
I don't know that I'm in on that, but it's a great story. I didn't know they were there. My friend had talked about the moonshine and said it was so good. But when I read the rest of this, they got a little area, a little sitting area. It sounds awesome. So go and check it out. It's called the Copper Still Distillery down in Lake Havasu.
There you go.
Then we also have Reel It In. This is the Striper tournament.
That's a big fish right there.
That's this weekend. Yeah, we don't have any identity on that, either the guy or the size of the fish, but they have the Battle at Bullhead Striper Fishing Tournament this Friday and Saturday. It's put on by the River King Tackle Shop out here on Highway 95. It's 1812 Highway 95, and they got a pile of things. So I looked at it and said, "Well, are you a fisherman, Jeff?"
You betcha in the ocean.
In the ocean? Okay. Well, that fish looks like it came out of the ocean there.
It does, but it's not. That's a lake fish, believe it or not.
Yeah. So they've got a striper tournament. They got a bunch of different things that go on with it. When I saw striper tournament, I'm like, I'm not really interested. But they also are doing the Bullhead City PD's K9 unit is going to be doing demonstrations. They're going to have a car show. There'll be live bands, boat show, gun show. It's free entry. It's, according to the guy running it, Mike Huseman, who's the owner of River King Tackle.
Super cool guy.
You know?
Yep.
It's a festival type atmosphere. They're opening it up to make something for everybody. So check it out. Live bands include Jimmy Argott from Southern California, Tri-State local Tim Burns, and Southern Nevada band The Bluegrass Republic. Live music begins at 11 a.m. each day. These guys, they have to be out there at 3 a.m. to register. 3 a.m.
That's a little early.
And then fishing, I think it said starts at like 4:30 and goes until, 4:30 till 1 p.m. Saturday and 4:30 till noon on Sunday.
Got to get out there early for those fish to bite. Otherwise, they're not hungry yet. They won't bite.
All right, well, I have some questions on this. It says here that the fishing is 4:30 to 1 Saturday and 4:30 to noon on Sunday, but at the beginning it says the tournament is Friday and Saturday. So
Little confusion there.
just drive over to River King Tackle Shop and find out, or give him a call. Do we have his number in here? Give Mike a call and find out what's going on.
Right across from Terrible's there in Bullhead,
Yep.
Old Bullhead there.
Right next to my old travel agency in 1812. And my barber is there too, Terry, which I need to go see today.
Need to make an appointment, huh?
All right. Then we also have back here, we have two more stories that they're bonus stories. We have one on the Ink Mayhem Tattoo Convention. So read this story and then check us out today at 4 o'clock to get your questions answered. It is a tattoo convention that is also a after party. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be live music. There's going to be food, drink,
And fun.
a bunch of different contests, motorcycle contests. And then next to it is Sleeping by the Lions. I think that we've all kind of learned a little bit about the Keepers of the Wild Animal Sanctuary, but there is a group called the Harvest Host. It's a network of more than 1,700 wineries, breweries, farms, and attractions around the country that have banded together to allow you to dry camp your RV inside these facilities. So the Melanie who wrote this said, fall asleep to wolves howling and wake up with lions bellowing. I don't know if I could sleep with wolves howling.
That would wake
right
me
outside.
up.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
I don't think I could sleep through that.
Kind of a neat idea, but
Yeah.
as long as it's not wake up to lions chewing, that might be an issue.
That could be painful.
All right, so we've got two things left. We got our this year in history, or this date in history. You've got the one from a year ago?
Yes, I do.
All right. I don't have that in front of me.
Oh, well, it's going to come up. It's a little delayed on yours. It's there. Go ahead and talk about it.
It hasn't come up yet.
Oh, you need to see it first. Okay, yeah. That's the new COVID-19 cases reported along with the Crush sets to plan to end year. Yeah.
Yes, so we got the board members there. Crush sets plan to end year. Board members approve emergency closure resolutions. We have Todd Flora there on the left and several of the board members. See, Lori Crampton's there. She's at that one. I see that, yeah. So we have, this was a year ago, and it was an emergency meeting to discuss closing. The schools had been closed around the country, so they were there to discuss how they were going to handle it. Lance, it was 21-0. I know you're talking about the River Valley girls softball team. Another win yesterday. I'm sure Chloe Spitzer threw like 5 innings with 12 strikeouts or something.
At least.
Pulu probably hit another 2 home runs and that. But I have Mike, come on in here. Our editor Mike just got back from a meeting.
A breakfast, isn't it?
A breakfast meeting.
Yeah, a breakfast meeting.
And when he gets his headphones on here, I'm going to ask him a question.
Okay. Let's hear what you got to say to Mike.
So, do you know what historic thing happened on this day? This is something everybody above the age of 10 years old knows about.
I probably should, but I haven't looked at the paper this morning.
It was 109 years ago.
A little before my time.
A little. This is the anniversary. On April 14th, 1912, the British liner RMS Titanic collided with an iceberg in the North Atlantic at 11:40 p.m. ship's time and began sinking.
Oh, man.
All right, so let me ask you one more question. How long do you think it took for that thing to go down?
Didn't it take, 3 hours?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Pretty close, Mike.
I'll get, you know.
We'll give it to him.
That's a fairly good approximation.
That was very good.
You didn't overbid, so you're good.
We're going to say you rounded up.
Yes.
That's right.
How many lives were lost?
Too many.
1,700?
1,514.
Okay.
I don't know that we can give him that one. That's
No, he overbid it.
All right, so it is the anniversary of the Titanic hitting an iceberg and going into the drink. Very sad day. All right, weather. Weather's brought to you by Living Waters Hospice, your hometown hospice. Together we can make a difference. It is going to be, over the next 5 days, mid-80s, mid to upper 80s. Today it's supposed to be a little breezy, but tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's supposed to be a lot nicer. 60 at night, mid-80s to upper 80s in the day. So go out there and go check out that striper tournament.
Catch some fish.
Striper. That is it for today. Don't forget, at 4 o'clock today, we're going to have our Q&A with Larry Springer from Mayhem, the main event. Please tune in and
get your questions ready.
Get your questions ready. You can put them on this video. We'll be sending something out as a reminder in a couple hours or so. You can put them on there, or you can just save it, tune in, and ask us. We'll be doing it live and kind of checking out the comments and asking the questions there. You can do that on our Facebook page or on our YouTube page. So this has been brought to you by the Tri-State Radiology Center. The Tri-State Radiology Center offers same or next day appointments, and they accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal. They have a wide open MRI and offer digital x-rays with your reports ready in 24 hours. Call them today for an appointment at 928-460-7226. I got to get over to Smith's and get me some of that seedless watermelon.
Yeah, I figured.
So we are out of here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Jeff, thank you.
Thank you. See you guys tomorrow.
Thirsty Thursday.